Russia has never been an ordinary nation. Its power was born not from comfort, but from struggle. Long before it became a global force, the land that would be called Russia was a harsh world of forests, frozen rivers, and endless plains. Life demanded strength. Early Slavic tribes settled along trade routes, forming communities that depended on unity for survival. These early foundations became Kievan Rus, a loose federation of cities connected by commerce and faith. Christianity shaped morals and culture, but constant threats from outside forces shaped something deeper: resilience. The Mongol invasions changed everything. For centuries, Russian lands lived under Mongol domination. Cities were burned, people enslaved, and rulers forced to submit. Yet this dark era forged a hardened political mindset. Authority became centralized. Obedience and discipline became tools of survival. When Moscow slowly rose to power, it learned from its conquerors, adopting strict governance and military organization. This transformation was not gentle, but it was effective. Ivan IV, later known as Ivan the Terrible, marked the moment Russia stepped into absolute power. He crushed rivals, expanded territory, and ruled through fear as much as law. His reign was brutal, but it unified Russia under one throne. The idea of a strong ruler became deeply embedded in Russian identity. Power, in Russia, was not negotiable, it was necessary. Generations later, Peter the Great pushed Russia into a new era. Obsessed with modernization, he forced change upon an unwilling nation. He shaved beards, reformed education, built a navy, and opened Russia to European science and industry. St. Petersburg rose from swamps as a symbol of ambition and defiance against nature itself. Russia was no longer isolated. It was asserting itself among world powers. As centuries passed, Russia grew larger and stronger, but inequality deepened. By the early 20th century, anger erupted. The Russian Revolution shattered the old order. The monarchy collapsed, and a radical experiment began. The Soviet Union emerged, promising equality, but demanding total loyalty. Under Lenin and later Stalin, the nation transformed at terrifying speed. Factories replaced villages, ideology replaced religion, and fear became a tool of control. Millions suffered, yet the state grew stronger. When World War II arrived, Russia faced annihilation. Cities fell, millions died, and winters froze both invaders and defenders. But Russia endured. The Soviet victory over Nazi Germany became the ultimate proof of its strength. From ashes, it rose as a superpower. The Cold War followed. Russia and the United States stood on opposite sides of the world, armed with nuclear weapons and competing visions of the future. Space became a new battlefield. Spies moved silently through shadows. The world lived under constant tension. Yet Russia stood firm, projecting power far beyond its borders. When the Soviet Union collapsed, many believed Russia's era had ended. But history had taught Russia how to survive loss. Power did not disappear, it adapted, waiting to return in new forms. To understand Russia fully, one must look beyond its strength and into its soul. Russian culture is shaped by extremes: love and suffering, faith and doubt, beauty and despair. This emotional depth is reflected in its literature, where writers do not seek easy answers. Tolstoy explored morality and war. Dostoevsky descended into the darkest corners of the human mind. Their stories reveal a culture that does not fear pain, but studies it. Music and art echo the same spirit. Russian classical music rises with sorrow and triumph, mirroring the nation's history. Ballet expresses discipline and grace born from hardship. Even folk songs carry stories of loss, endurance, and hope. Russian culture does not hide emotion, it confronts it. Religion also plays a quiet but powerful role. Orthodox Christianity shaped traditions, values, and architecture. Churches with golden domes stand as symbols of faith surviving oppression. Even during atheist Soviet rule, belief remained hidden in hearts and homes. Faith in Russia is less about comfort and more about endurance. Mystery surrounds the land itself. Siberia stretches endlessly, cold and silent. It has been a place of exile, punishment, and secrecy. Prison camps once swallowed millions. Entire towns existed only on classified maps. Beneath frozen ground lie stories never told. Even today, parts of Russia remain unexplored, untouched by time. Power in Russia has always operated behind closed doors. Decisions are made quietly, strategies carefully guarded. Intelligence agencies became legends. During the Cold War, information itself was a weapon. Spies shaped history without firing a single shot. This culture of secrecy created an aura that still surrounds Russia today. Modern Russia stands at a crossroads. Skyscrapers rise beside ancient cathedrals. Technology advances while traditions remain strong. The nation embraces the future but carries its past closely. It is not fully Western, nor entirely Eastern. It follows its own path, shaped by centuries of survival. Russia remains difficult to define because it refuses to be simple. It is powerful, yet wounded. Cultured, yet hardened. Open in art, secretive in politics. Every attempt to explain it reveals another layer beneath. In the end, Russia is not just a country on a map. It is a story still being written. A story of power earned through suffering, culture born from emotion, and mystery preserved through silence. The world continues to watch, not because Russia seeks attention, but because its presence cannot be ignored.